Hey guys, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna be talking about all of it, everything, all of it. Let's get the right music, right? Let's get the right music up. Yeah, let's get my Spotify up in this bitch. Yeah, winter contingency. Alright. So we start here at Halo Reach. The game, it opens with the planet Reach. It's in ruins, destroyed, it's gone. There's nothing there, it's dead. And then it flashes back before the devastating invasion by the Covenant. Noble Team, which is what you're in, is dispatched to investigate why a communications relay has gone offline on the planet of Reach. They discover the Covenant, which are the aliens, which you're trying to kill, are there. And that means, like, you gotta, like, you help them, and Marines gotta help around the way, and like, oh no, you gotta stop them. They're coming. Oh no, and you kill them, and then you're like, yeah, and then you like go to this satellite array, and it's like your person called you're Noble 6, right? All right, your guy's called Noble 6, and you go there, and it's like, hello, and like there's a woman. Which is awesome, by the way, woman. She comes up, and she like fixed the radio, but then a bunch of elites come down. Ugh. A bunch of elites come down. Like, he kills the guy with an energy sword, which is a weapon, which is like a sword, but it's made of energy. And he's like, this cool first-person view of you being absolutely annihilated. And then you get up, he's like, oh, we gotta chase him, get up, Noble 6. And he's like, you chase him, and then you kill him. And there's a bunch more coming. And then Kat, which is the woman, gets to realize, like, winter contingency, the Covenant on Reach. And then the next mission, alright, the second mission. Alright, you have to go to Sword Base, which is owned by Oni, and Oni's like the CIA of Halo, and you got Office of Naval Intelligence, right? Because you're in space, and so it's Navy, right? So you go there, you gotta defend it, you gotta kill everyone. Alright, you kill everyone. Alright, this mission is boring. Alright, so you do that. And then you've done it. Congratulations, you beat the game. No, I'm lying. That was a joke. Thank you for listening. We do that, and then you do it. And you meet this person called Dr. Halsey. And it's like, hi, I'm Dr. Halsey. I made the Spartans. About your Spartan, and like the Spartans are these really cool super soldiers, and you're one of those. Like, she's a creator of them. And she's a bitch though. She's a fucking bitch or an asshole. She's like, give me that intelligence you got from the satellite, and she tells you there's like an artifact underneath Reach, and that's why they're there, because the Covenant are actually really religious. The Covenant are Catholic, and they want to discover Jesus Christ's corpse so they can get special powers. Okay, and then you, 6, and June, which is another guy who's like a cool sniper guy. Woo, wow. There's the CIA, by the way, on my screen, and the CIA. You are the CIA. No, you're not the CIA. You go there, right? There's Nuremberg trials. Right? You do that. You done it. Congratulations. I'm gonna turn this up. This is the best part. You've done it. All right. You do this cool sniping mission, and you gotta snipe Covenant, so they don't get you. And once you've done that, woo! Awesome. You've done it. You kill him, and you meet a bunch of insurgents, and they help you. That's my Minecraft skin, by the way. And you've done that. Congratulations, asshole. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. And they're like, oh, we've done everything. We've killed everyone. Let's go to this ridge, and let's scout out. And it's a giant Covenant ship. There's a USSR. That's not the Covenant. And then this giant Covenant ship, and it's dropping down a bunch of soldiers that are gonna take over the planet. And they're like, we gotta tell them about this. So you tell them about that, and you have a giant fucking battle at this spaceport, and conveniently, your guy is a pilot. Used to be a pilot. So you fight off these enemies that are trying to take over this rocket site. All right, and you get in the rocket and you fucking go. You're out of this bitch. That was awesome, right? Congratulations. So after you've done that, you are now in space fighting off, and you're going to try and get on board this little Covenant carrier that has just appeared. Right. So you're gonna fight off that. You're gonna board that Covenant carrier, and you're gonna take it over. You're just taking over the alien fucking ship, right? And then you pilot it so it rams into the giant Covenant ship with a giant laser beam on it. It's got a glass reach if you don't destroy it. It happens anyway. Spoilers, by the way. So once you've done that, a Pelican lands, which is like not like a bird, it's like a spacecraft. It's awesome, alright? You should play it. Right? It lands and it has a giant bomb on it. And it like warps space and shit, and it will just destroy everything. But it turns out, conveniently, the remote detonation is destroyed, and you and your other Spartan friend George, is like, he takes off his helmet and he grabs you and gives you his dog. He's like, tell him to make it count. And he throws you out the spaceship, and he blows up. He self-sacrificed himself, and you fall down onto Reach into this city called New Alexandria. Fuck you, Jake. Into a city called New Alexandria. Right. You land at New Alexandria, and you assist these Marines and the civilians in escaping. New Alexandria is being glassed right now. You did nothing to help at all. It was useless. All right. So you find them off now. You're find them all off, and you're trying to get the civilians to safety. And you do that most of the time. You finish it, all right? And then you get a radio from the rest of your team like, 6, we heard your transponder. Where's George? And he's like, George didn't make it out. And then you get picked up. And then the best mission in the game happens. And it's called... I don't know what it's called. But basically... It's a really cool level while you're flying around and you're fighting off Covenant and helping civilians. At the end of the mission, you're running through, and Kat's like talking about, you get this artifact underneath the ground. The Covenant want it. We need to destroy it so they leave Reach. But then she gets shot in the head by another Covenant guy, and she's like dead on the floor. And it's like, no! And she's like, poof, poof, poof. And it's like, no, the woman is dead, and the woman is dead. Alright, so then the next mission. They recall to Sword Base. The Sword Base is the second mission in the game where you have to get Dr. Halsey. You need to destroy it. You need to destroy Sword Base. So you get there. Alright, you get there. But you're guided down into an underground area with the ancient alien artifact. Only had the alien artifact the entire time. And then you need to get... And Dr. Halsey thinks you need this to win the war against the Covenant. Alright? And then these two guys, Carter and Emil, which are two other Spartans on your team, get this AI called Cortana. This is gonna be really cool later because Windows 10 has Cortana and I fucking hate it. Right? So once you've done that, you like escaping out of that. It blows up and you get to the UNSC ship called the Pillar of Autumn. Also important for later. Alright, so as you get to the dry dock of the Pillar of Autumn, which is basically the landing site, Carter, your team leader, gets hurt really bad. And he's like, oh, I'm not gonna make it out. And a giant scarab appears. A scarab appears and he's like, we're all gonna die if we don't get this scarab, but how do we destroy it? And God's like, I'll do it. And he rams this pelican into the scarab, which is a giant Covenant-like spider thing that destroys everything, right? It's in Halo 2, it's awesome. You board one, and Halo 3 is also awesome. And he dies, which usually happens when you ram into something with a spacecraft. And then Oh! Alright, so once you've done that, the sniper guy has to extract Halsey, the doctor, away from the planet so he leaves you. And he survives the rest of the game, by the way. He's in comics and shit. I don't know what happened to him. I don't think he's dead. Alright, so you've done that. You've done that now. Let me check Discord real quick. Hitman, let's go. Alright. Is this it? This is the song. Alright. Wait. Emil uses a thing called a mass driver, which fights off fucking like a bunch of Covenant. But then, as you try to get this cargo onto the Pillar of Autumn, all right, I need to cut time to him as well. But then, out of nowhere, Emil is destroyed by a plasma sword. That's all of Noble Team dead except you and the sniper isn't on reach right now. So, like, Emil shows up in a Pelican, and he's like, oh no, he's on a Falcon, which is another, like, propeller, aircraft thing, but, you know, you never cool. And he's like, get on, 6, we need to get out of here, we've lost reach. And you're like, no. And he's like, okay, and then he leaves reach, and you get left behind, because you wanted to be left behind, because you're cool, and you're Noble 6. The last mission of the game, you fight off overwhelming amounts of Covenant forces in a wave defense, but in the end your efforts are not enough. Your Noble 6 dies, your character dies at the very end of the game, fighting for reach. Noble Team is what saved the rest of the universe from the Covenant, as Cortana held many nations. We leave onto Halo Combat Evolved now. The original game. Alright, so it begins as the Pillar of Autumn, the ship you just helped us get from reach. Get out of the warp drive slip space thing as I try to get away. And then your character wakes up. You are none other than the Master Chief. You are the most complex and you're the most amazing Spartan alive. You are the suit. You're basically God. God in a power armor suit, right? You get out and you just run the tutorial sequence, and then he's like, "How did the Covenant follow us all the way from Reach?" And he's like, "Get to the bridge. We need to." Get to the bridge, Master Chief. I need to talk to you. So you get to the bridge, and he's like, Master Chief, take this AI. And it's Cortana. And she's a woman! The Cortana is a woman! And you put it in your helmet, and now she talks to you for the entire fucking game. It pisses me off. So, you do that. Let me check my Discord again. So you have arrived. You have arrived at the Halo Rings. What the name the game is based off is this giant fucking ring, hence why it's called a Halo Ring, orbiting a planet. And the Pillar of Autumn is going down. The giant ship you are on is going to crash. You fight off the boarding Covenant forces, and you get onto a life pod at the last moment as you head down into the Halo Rings. You crash land on the Halo Rings with all the Marines on board dead and just you alive. You and Cortana navigate throughout the Halo Ring, trying to meet up with other Marines and teammates. Let me look at more of the things. They rescue the other survivors. Alright? So they rescue other survivors, and they organize a massive counterattack after they learn that the Captain Keyes, who flew the Pillar of Autumn, he crash landed it so he could blow up the ring. Well, we don't know that yet, but he's gonna blow up the ring. Spoilers. Alright, it lands. There's Tupac. There. He's been captured by the Covenant. You, Cortana, need to get him if you want to escape. You, Master Chief, and Cortana, and a bunch of group of Marines find out about a Covenant ship called Truth and Reconciliation. You fight with the Covenant forces in the areas and board the Covenant ship. As you, the ship which Keyes is on board, you fight them all off epically and coolly like a boss, saving other Marines on board. Tupac, yes, Miles. Alright? Hold on. Alright, and you meet Keyes, and he tells you that the Covenant call this ring world you're on, this is called a ring world because it's just a giant ring, Halo, which is the name of the game. So, they think it's a weapon, alright? So, the Master Chief and Cortana, who want to stop them from using this weapon, find out where the control room of the Halo ring is. Alright? They found out where the control room for the Halo ring is. And while Keyes searches for more weapons caches, you launch a giant assault on the Ringworld's control room, going through from beaches to snow. It was awesome, as you could drive tanks and these giant things called Phantoms, which you like, and Banshees. It's awesome. It's such a cool mission. You should play the game. Get MCC right now. It's free for Xbox Game Pass and on Steam. So, as you get there, you find another place in this giant jungle while on the hunt for Keyes again. Because you could not find you found the control room, but you can't do anything. Wait, reading this off Wikipedia. Also from memory, because I played all the Halo games. I remember the games. I'm watching Wikipedia. So you meet. Oh wait, hold on. You guys playing Among Us? Hold on. You guys playing Among Us? Oh wait, no, it's just Matthew. As you and you go to this giant jungle place, and there's Keyes, and you go through this massive complex of, this isn't Covenant stuff. This isn't human stuff. What is this? These Covenant guys, these Marines, I didn't kill these guys. How are they dead? And then it appears, out of nowhere, a parasite called the Flood. The Flood, it takes over the body, your body, and it turns you to basically a zombie. It basically turns you to a zombie. There's zombies in Halo now! And then there's a giant battle going on between the Covenant and the Marines and the Flood. After fighting, after you accidentally release the Flood in the world, you meet the caretaker of this Halo ring, called 343 Guilty Spark. He enlists Master Chief in the worst level in Halo history, where you fight Flood over and over and over and over and over again, and it's a horrible level. But you earn this key, the right to activate the Halo ring and destroy the Flood. You make it to the Halo control room, where Cortana tells you something. The Halo ring will destroy the Flood, but it'll also destroy the entire universe. After telling 343 Guilty Spark that you will not activate this Halo ring, he turns against you and attacks you with these ancient devices, which are basically just drones, which are from the creators of the Halo rings, also known as the Prometheans, who long before anyone were now extinct. But however, 343 Guilty Spark now has the key. He steals it off you. He's going to activate the Halo Ring if you don't do something quick. You head back to the destroyed Pillar of Autumn in an attempt to destroy the Halo Ring once and for all. You board the Pillar of Autumn, fighting off Covenant and Flood, and set off and destroy the ship in a slip space explosion. Everyone on the Halo Ring except Master Chief and Cortana dies, including all the Marines, all the Flood, and all the Covenant. The Flood is wiped out, but at what cost? We move on to Halo 2. Halo 2 begins with the trial of a Covenant soldier, an elite, as they're called, which is basically Spartans, but for the Covenant. He's being incarcerated because he was the leader of the defense of the takeover of the Halo Ring, and he failed because Master Chief destroyed it. At the same time, Master Chief is being awarded a medal. Look, that's Master Chief. No, it's not. That's not Snake. He's being awarded a medal over Earth. The high prophets of the Covenant, known as Truth, Regret, and Mercy, which are the overlords of this religious fucking military of Catholics, also known as the Covenant. They're aliens, though. They're alien Catholics. Right. I don't remember Halo 2 at fucking all. I actually need to read this. They give the elite with no name the chance to become a rank only legends can have. The Arbiter. The rank of Arbiter is only given to elites in a time of crisis. The Arbiter is sentenced to death by fighting. The elite, or now known as the Arbiter, is blinded by the Covenant. They're brainwashed. But not really brainwashed, but the religion. And they're given that rank. At the same time, a Master Chief getting a medal, something happens. The ship Master Chief is on becomes under attack, or the space station is under attack by Covenant. The Covenant forces have invaded Earth. Master Chief, defend this ship. You defend the ship, and you fight off the Covenant forces, and get in a drop pod along with other ODSTs, which are other troopers on board with you. Ow! You drop in on a drop pod into the atmosphere, and land on Earth. You land in New Mombasa, an African city, and fight off and help defend the Marines defending the city. A Covenant ship appears over New Mombasa, and you get on board another ship, a UNSC ship. You are part of the UNSC ship. You are part of the UNSC, the United Nations Space Command. So you get in it, and then as it's jumping away, you jump through with it. The entirety of New Mombasa is glassed by this slip space jump, but you give chase. It turns out the Covenant have found the location of another Halo Ring. You and the UNSC launch a full-scale attack on the Halo Ring along with the Covenant. The exact same events of Combat Evolved are taking place yet again. However, I have forgotten the plot. Right. Keys. Right. He sends in Master Chief yet again to kill one of the high commanders of the Covenant, the Prophet of Regret. He sends him in, and it's awesome, right? You find him on the ring, and you kill the guards, and you hop into his little fucking like mobile chair, and you actually beat him to death. It's the best scene in Halo fucking ever. It's great. And you get the index, also known as the key to activate the Halo ring. With the index, the Halo ring cannot be activated. The Prophet of Regret has sent us this distress call right before his death. The High Charity, the most infamous Covenant ship ever seen, who's never lost a single battle, and has the both prophets on board, the remaining prophets on board, arrived at the Halo ring in response. They arrive at the new Halo just before the Master Chief kills Regret, and the Covenant bombard the Master Chief's location, and he falls into a lake. He is dragged away by a weird tentacle creature. Regret's death triggers discord, which is like not good stuff among the Covenant, among the race of the Covenant, as they see their prophet is not as invincible as they thought he could be. They're confused. They're meant to be invincible. These are the Covenant. They're chosen by God, by Jesus Christ and the Holy Savior, to fight off these creatures, these humans. And the prophets, the elites, because you know they're elite, are the defenders of the Covenant. They are the highest rank you can possibly get, right? They defend the prophets. However, seeing how as the elites could not defend the Prophet of Regret, what do? They take away that rank from the elites as the defenders and give it to the brutes. The brutes are giant monkeys. They're giant monkeys. And meanwhile, the Arbiter is sent in to retrieve the index, the key to the thing. The thing. The key to the Halo ring that will destroy the universe, because they don't know that. They just think it's gonna for God, for Allah. And when he finds, after a long battle of shit, I don't remember Halo 2 at all. He arrives at, what's it fucking called again? He subdues 2 people. Sergeant Johnson, I forgot his full name, but he is the best character. Sergeant Avery Johnson. He was on the original Halo ring. He survived the first Halo ring explosion, and he's been actually fighting alongside you, the Master Chief. He's black, so he's the best character in the game. He subdues him and also a woman, which is clearly absolute terror. This cannot be happening. Women cannot be subdued in Halo games. As the Arbiter subdues them and gets the index, a brute arrives called Tartarus. He's the head of the brutes and now the leader of the defense of the prophets. He takes the index and the prophets and reveals to him that the prophets have given the order to annihilate the elites. A civil war within the Covenant has just begun. He knocks the Arbiter down into a pit, assuming his death. But in the bowels of that pit he fell into, he meets the Master Chief. This elite, this Marine, these two enemies become friends, and it's awesome. It is the best thing in ever. He is met by a giant tentacle monster known as the Gravemind. He is the Flood. He is the hive mind of the Flood. He controls them all. Every single Flood. He tells them that everyone is in danger. This Flood, this stupid being, right? Somehow more intelligent than both of them. He tells the Elite and the Master Chief, the Arbiter and the Master Chief, the Arbiter and John 117, the Arbiter and 117, the Arbiter and you, that they need to fight off. They need to rid the Covenant of this Halo ring, because everyone is in danger. The entire universe is in danger. No one can win if the Covenant win. So the Elites turn against the Covenant, and the UNSC and the Elite come together to fight them off in a giant civil war. The Master Chief boards the High Charity and kills one of the prophets. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Elite Arbiter has given chase to Tartarus to get the Index back. On the surface, he meets with Johnson and becomes friends, and confronts Tartarus in the control room. He tries to convince Tartarus that the prophets, they've betrayed them both. They can't win. No one can win. But he screams that it's heresy, and you kill Tartarus. Meanwhile, one of the prophets are dead. The Master Chief has killed him. However, the other one is escaping. Now we'll look here. Tartarus has activated the Halo Ring, but killing him has suddenly put it offline, but has put every Halo Ring on standby. They can be at every single Halo Ring in the universe. These weapons of mass destruction can be activated all at once if they do not find this thing known as the Ark. Meanwhile, Master Chief has no way of escaping the ship of the High Charity. He will die on board, but Cortana, she sacrifices herself to destroy the High Charity and let Master Chief escape. And she does just that. In the post-credit scene of Halo 2, the Gravemind, the hive mind of all Flood, takes control of the High Charity. The Flood have a ship. The Flood, which destroy all life, make all planets uninhabitable, have a ship now. That is Halo 2. We move on to Halo 3. I'm gonna finish it here, because I don't consider Halo 4 or 5 to be canon, because those stories are dog shit. The Master Chief arrives back on Earth in East Africa. He is found by Johnson and the Arbiter and assumed dead. Johnson calls in for a VTOL pickup. The Master Chief is dead. But wait! He isn't dead, because he has a really cool line, and it says, yeah, I'm not. Which sounds really dumb without the context, but it's cool, trust me. And they fight through Africa, destroying... You know what, I'm gonna end it here. I cannot be bothered to finish this. I'm tired, I have school. Nothing is happening.